roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the party. Roll up to the.
Good afternoon. Well, we've got calm heads now. We've got calm heads. Hope. Right, let's just check the sound quality is okay. And we'll get to some comments first. There's a few. Just check the sound. Just check this. And then I'll just nip on to here. And yeah, we're live. That's perfect. Right, done that. We are live. Right. Get to some comments first, and then I want to go through the news. And there is some news that we really need to talk about. Let's see who's on first. Right, Paddy Burners, do you think we'll bring someone in? Yes, definitely. For sure. Paddy Burns goes, sure. Johnny Boy, hail, hail, troops. We need 1 or 2 experienced players. Yes, we do. Love it. Hail, hail, everyone. Diane says we need Merlin Magic. We'll talk about him just in a minute. Diane Slaven says there's only one Celtic channel can stand these days. Good for that. Yep, no way. I can't calm down. There's no way I've calmed down. Waz says, love it. Hail, hail says, Paul, good to see you in the building, Paul. You are on door duty as normal, and it is Tam Mac. Brilliant. The guys are on the house. Perfect. We can move on. We have Hunslayers in the house. That's even better. Hail, hail, boys. Right, there is some Celtic news. I'll just double check this. I hear Nora. Right, this has been one that's been kicking around the day that Big Rocky is injured, and I've never heard anything to say otherwise. There's one thing that I did get told. Where's my phone? 2 seconds. My phone is. There's one thing that I did get told today is that the team are all on a wee jolly tonight. Being a Monday night, they're all away out for John Kennedy's 40th. Which I thought was interesting. I mean, you've probably had the same. The text has probably been doing the rounds. I'm not sure if there's any truth to it or not. Let me just check again. Just texting. Yeah, apparently the full team and staff are at Motherwell for John Kennedy's 40th tonight. A lot of people are saying the party must have started on Saturday and they were hungover on Sunday. Anyway. That's the bit that's got. Let's get some more comments first. Here in East Lothian, Scotland, calling out says Kakawaka. There you go. Graham Hardy says hail hail. Stephen says we need a load of players. Yes, we do, Stephen. Probably a good thing that we need some chemistry. Yes, I'd love to see big. I would love to see Big John Steeman. John Kennedy. He's a tank, isn't he? You wouldn't want to follow it with him when he's drunk. Right, let's get to the Celtic news. Right, Calmac has been saying that to the new recruits, you're under pressure. You are definitely under pressure. If you thought coming to Celtic was going to be an absolute walk in the park and you were just going to rock up and would win things, not a chance. Not a chance. It has been suggested that Callum McGregor has ramped up the pressure on the players after Rugby Park. I think it's not just the players that are going to have pressure on them. I think the manager now has pressure on them over the next couple of week periods. And the next 10 days is going to be defining, absolutely defining. I've said it. The next 10 days will be absolutely defining for Drowning Their Sorrows. No, party. Yeah. Right. Brendan Rodgers has now got to the stage where the next 10 days is going to make or break his season. It's as simple as that. Calmac spoke well. Yes, he did. After the game, he did that. I think the fact that he says that he knows there's new players that have came in, and he says, look, we've lifted this trophy 6 times in the last 7 seasons. 6 times in the last 7 seasons. You know, it's one of the trophies that we claim as our own, and we don't have the right as a team, right? We're not going to pretend that we're privileged, right? We have to work to win things, right? We've worked hard over the last 10 years to make sure that we maximize our opportunities to win as much as we can as a club. And if you haven't checked out, here comes an advert. If you haven't checked out hoopsmerch.co.uk, get your Hun free merchandise at hoopsmerch.co.uk. That's the only bit of advertising we'll do this evening for it. Right, calm down, wake up call. Right, let's get back to the news. Right. The Mateus one, the Braun-based striker, depending on which article that you read, we're either about to put a £4 million offer in for him. The director of football has spoken, sort of increasing the likelihoods of a bid maybe going in. It says we're still in the process with both relations in and out of the club. We need to adjust a number of players in the squad. Right, that's the Brøndby director of football talking. But then if you read another publication that says basically we've been given the go-ahead to buy him for £4 million, although he is just one of several options that we're looking at. Is a 21-year-old striker really what we need at Celtic right now? Because I would say no, we don't need another, try and make me good type thing. But he has spoken to TV3 and he's saying that it was not part of the plan to sell him, although he's not ruling out potential further deals before the window closes with regards to his club. He says, we're still in business in both relations to incomings and outgoings, added the director. He says, we have to adjust the number of players in the squad, even though we're about to be where we want to be. He says, as the deadline gets closer, we have our eyes and ears open in relation to a few more positions. That to me looks like they're trying to bring players in. He says, the player that we're talking about can play on the wides as well as through the middle. We don't need another 21-year-old striker. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Is that what is required right now? Do we really need to bring in a 21-year-old? For me, no. If we're getting him for £4 million, just bring him in and make him, put him in a development team if that's what it takes. We need to bring in people that have been there and done it and know what it takes to win. We brought in Lager and he was just off the plane, for goodness sake. He was, but we need to have we need Cameron Carter-Vickers back, definitely. One person talking about transfer news, one person that is confirmed by Brendan Rodgers that he will be exiting even the club is James McCarthy, so that his miserable spell at Celtic can end. He's still got 2 years left of his contract, and it seems to be that Celtic are trying to come to an agreement with James McCarthy, and it's been made official. Speaking pre-season, Brendan Rodgers obviously said give players like McCarthy and everyone a chance, but McCarthy is now being told that he can leave. He can leave, but it all comes down to the payoff. Sadly for James, it's been a few injuries and niggles. We're going to talk about an injured player in a minute also. He says he's trained really well with us in the group when he first came in. He's had a couple of really good conversations with Brendan, but he is going to be looking to move on because he needs to play. Brendan's obviously told him, look, I don't think you're going to get much game time at your stage of your career. You really need to be playing every week. There has been interest for him, but it's looking like he might move to the USA, as there are a couple of clubs interested in him there. Talking about injuries, where do we go? And the big one, obviously, is Stephen Welsh. Now, Stephen Welsh is needing surgery. That's been confirmed. Brendan Rodgers confirmed that he's needing surgery on his ankle after going over and doing his ankle in. So he's going to be out between 3 and 4 months. We've no idea when Carter-Vickers will be back. It's looking like it's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks yet. Lanky, good evening, everyone. Right, we're going to get to that one, Chris, in a minute. By Morelos before he eats any more pies. Greg says it as well, right? Make sure you smash the like button. There's 229 people online, and there is only 30 thumbs up. So there's 31 thumbs up now. So make sure that you smash the thumbs up button, please. And then if you're on Twitter, make sure that you share this content and share this on Twitter. Also, as it helps get more people watching the lives and get more people signed up to the channel. Right. Let's talk about the big news after Stephen Welsh. I'm going to give you obviously we've known for a while that Jota was going to, it kind of broke last week that Jota was going to go out on loan, right? And it's now been suggested that that Celtic could be in for him. Oh, there's not a chance, surely not. Now, there has been odds came out this afternoon. Saudi rules state that clubs must only have 8 foreign players from overseas. That could spell the end for Jota. Gambling.com I've put Celtic favourites to sign Jota. This is, you have to listen to this, right? Jota is at 64 to come to Celtic, 2-1 to go to Everton, 2-1 to go to Tottenham, 4-1 to go to Crystal Palace, 92 to go to Wolves, 25-1 to go to Manchester United, and 8-1 to go to Fulham, 10-1 to go to any Portuguese team, 14-1 to go to Leeds, 20-1 to go to any club in America, and wait for it, 33-1 to join the Sevconians. Jesus, not a chance, not a chance. Even Ange wouldn't play him, so goodbye. Yeah, so I take it you're talking about too hot there for his denim jacket. Jota want big wages. I don't know if they're willing to. I think the way that the Saudis work, they're just going to pump him out on loan, and they're going to pay the majority of his wages. They've got that much money over there, you know. They can do what they really want with them. Greg says he feels bad for Jota, but then again, just remember his bank accounts. Don't feel bad for him. So tell me what you think of that. Would you take Jota back? Jota getting his Jotas. I know the irony of that. The irony of signing a 200 grand a week contract and then getting told that you're not good enough for the league. Jeez, that's a bit. I mean, surely they would have checked that out before. I mean, all the teams that were mentioned, Celtic are favourites at 64. Have Celtic got some kind of clause to take them back? I wouldn't have thought so. Once you're gone, you're gone. Everton at 2-1. That could be a good shout. Tottenham 2-1. There's every chance Tottenham could come in for them. Crystal Palace 4-1. Wolves 9-2. The big outside one for me is Manchester United at 25-1. I thought they would have been priced a little bit closer, but then again, you have no idea what's going to go on with that. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. More importantly, people are saying take Jota back. Hail, hail. Trip says, Ewan boy. Right, more importantly, let's talk about yesterday. In the comment section, make sure that you have your say on yesterday. Jota stories as bad as KT. Well, it is fake news because the news that I'm getting now is Kieran Tierney is most likely to be going to Spain. It's looking like that has a Tierney intimate. I think there's no chance. I think Kieran would probably like to go to Spain because then again, if you go to Spain, you're going to be playing Barcelona and Real Madrid and stuff. So I think realistically, Kieran Tierney's, he's done his time in Scotland. He would like to come. He's probably one of these players that I say, yeah, I'd like to come back to Scotland, fairy tale stuff, just to see it to make a headline. And the fact that he's probably one of the ones that will come a bit like Roy Keane. Come back for your last day. Paddy Roberts started again. Yeah, the Paddy Roberts one started again. Kieran Tierney one started. What other ones has started? Let's go into transfers. The Jota one already started. Celtic transfer news. Yeah, the big one is the Jota. But that's never going to happen. Absolutely never going to happen. McGregor points out where improvements are needed. I think we all know where improvements are needed on the pitch. Let's face it. Is Brendan Rodgers doing things the way you would like it to be done? Is bring Henrik back? Let's just make sure there's nobody paying me for that one. Anyway, Ange has left a shambles. Rodgers back to the wall already. Heard rumours about Paddy Roberts. Yeah, we've all heard the ones. Forget Paddy Roberts, not going to happen. Feels are even back to the way too many starters. Has Celtic went backwards over the last couple of weeks? One of the interesting, if you watched this morning's video, you would have seen a comment that was made, and it was like an absolute cracker. It's Peter Lawwell enters the building, and ambition leaves. We are playing a bit slower than Ange, right? But that's last season, right? We're playing a different type of football. I think bringing Kyogo back is probably not the right thing. Bringing him back into the midfield, I can understand the tactics behind it. But then there was one important thing yesterday. If you looked, there was about 10 minutes to go in the game, and you seen Gavin Strachan, the camera panned down to Rodgers, and you seen Gavin Strachan with his head in his hands, basically shaking his head. he knows that there's something wrong with the tactics. Either the tactics are wrong or the players aren't understanding the system just yet. They're not doing what they were told, right? A big shout out yesterday was the fact that you've got two brand new defenders starting that game on that pitch. Once we beat that lot, normal service will have resumed, says Martin. Yes, this is true. Agreed. McGregor is the rest for. Do you think McGregor needs a rest? Is he missing Hatate? How long has Hatate got out for? Injuries are killing us at the start of the season. And I think it's one of the things that we should have a big enough squad to deal with. But then it's shown towards the end of the last season that the squad that we have, where he's all getting this, I'm going to be a total dampener here, right? I'm going to be a total dampener. This route that we're going down, saying that we're going to absolutely smash them. You've got to remember, they had 8 players rested for the game at the weekend. Is there a new system? Yes, Coco, there is a new system that they're playing. And it is a bit more defensive-minded compared to the way that Ange would play. Great videos, keep up great content. Come on, you boys in green. Yang needs to play more. Yes, he does. But you need a level of consistency. You need a level of continuity within the team. And that's what we don't have just now. Hopefully we can get Alistair Johnson back. I think once Alistair Johnson gets back, and Callum McGregor is shouting out for someone in the middle of the park to sit behind him, I think, so that he can move forward and control the game better. I think McGregor, for me, is sitting far too far back. I think that's what, and bringing McInnes VAR plan watch yesterday. We're not even want to go on about VAR. Complaining about the penalty from last season. If you've seen the thumbnail that I put up, it was the picture doing the rounds after the game yesterday. Was obviously McInnes and the referee having a little bit of a giggle as they shook hands after the game, probably saying, "I'll see you down the lodge afterwards, down in Lanarkshire. We need to sign a couple of refs. Will it click? Will the system click? Yes, I've no doubt that it'll click. It clicked the first time that the manager was here, and there's nothing to say that it won't click this time. It's players getting used to a new system. Should we have entered the transfer market quicker? Most definitely. Leaving it to this stage of trying to run down the transfer window. Kelly will go into burnout this season. Yeah, I think so. We're definitely missing strength in midfield. Big Jock was a Freemason. Yes, he was that. I would love a Wata in midfield to help McGregor going forward. It's definitely a good shout. We have the players there. I mean, you have to look at the injuries. Injuries are absolutely killing us just now, but it's the start of the season. We should have been well prepared for that. The fact that we haven't been. The transfer news that is coming out is basically just people trying to get clicks for newspapers. There's nothing actually solid coming out at all. And that's the worrying thing. We all knew that we needed a goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper could have done nothing yesterday. But we need a Scott Brown type player in midfield, and that we just don't have at the moment. We need a Scott Brown player in midfield, and that's what we're missing. And Callum did really well last season and the season before, but he had players around about him that were of good quality. And for all the fact that we were meant to bring in quality this window, it just doesn't seem. I mean, you need to give players time to bed in. And that's why the manager last year wanted to bring in, Ange only had a 50% win in his first 6 games. Have faith, says Mark. I think it's because it was a cup competition, Mark. I think it was a cup competition, and that's what was a bit disappointing because, it's part of a treble if you go for it. But, it does free up the upside. It does free up a couple of game slots between now and Champions League games. So it will be interesting to see how we adjust for that. Scales will help the defence. Yes, this is true. I think Scales needs to be played now. Or is he actually going to go out on loan? You never know. You never know the way that Brendan thinks. He maybe thinks he's got enough cover to put. But then again, the fact that Stephen Welsh is going to be out for up to 3 to 4 months after he needed surgery, that's a hard one to do because, even Brendan says we need to get Callum Carter-Vickers back fit. I always think if you can get 4 centre backs and some young players in your system, it's a good plus. He says we've got some players that are adaptable, like Awata, who can go back there. He says it's really unfortunate for Stephen. Right at the end of the training, he landed awkward and ruptured ligaments in his ankle, which means he would need an operation. It put him out for around about 3 or 4 months, which is a real shame because he would have played against Kelly. So he would have played against Kelly. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things. But you need to have a big enough squad, and you need to have a good enough squad. That is the squad as we get closer. Now, we did speak about it, and I did say that I would leave it till the end of the window. And never mind about never mind the treble. If they don't strengthen the Champions League, it's going to be a horror show, says old boy. I think, yeah, that's what we all said. And we all said that. I heard the rumour that a new centre back is injured. There seems to be a lot of rumours saying that Rocky is injured. But is it just rumours? Is it just rumours? You know what the rumour mill was like? And I've never heard anything. I don't know where it's came from. I'm not really sure where it's came from. I got that message today as well, but it's probably just a text that's doing the rounds, and it's probably been a zombie that started it. Anyway, you heard the rumour and you sent it back. Yeah, there are a lot of people are talking about it. Never mind the treble. It's easier to get project players in when we've got a few now. Yeah, we need Mbappe, Neymar, Harry Kane, and Jota back. Yeah, we do, but we don't have that kind of money. Looking at Vickers and Jota deadline signings, they were game changers. And will Celtic. The good thing about Celtic right now is we are a team that has a really good scouting system. So that scouting system has been really good for us in the past. That hasn't changed. So the fact that we're hitting the panic buttons is probably fans just getting a little bit excited. Awata is finished. Brendan Rodgers doesn't seem to rate him. We are the best. If this is the best we have for the Champions League, yes, I know. We are not expecting anything from the Champions League. Europa semi-finals will do for me, says Stevie. That is something that I spoke about during the summer. This is the last season that you have the drop down from the Champions League into Europa. Finishing third is paramount for the Champions League. Trying to do anything else, too many supporters are crapping themselves. Yes, Lanky, too many are. And I'd love to see us doing a run in Europe. Dropping down to the Europa, this is the last season that you can do it. I think it's absolutely, it's a must that we have to finish third in the Champions League. And then Sevco was a total fluke. It'd be hard to replicate. I don't think it's about replicating it. It's the way that we go about it. If we can finish third in the Champions League at Celtic and then drop down into the Europa, and I think getting a good run there, just even getting a couple of games, that would do fantastic for the squad. Getting a couple of games after Christmas. What would be funny? Martin just says, "Can you imagine us getting Copenhagen and they beat us with a Jordan Larson goal?" Oh dear. Oh, that'd be devastating. That'd be absolutely devastating. I'm not expecting anything from Europe this season. We need to win the double, says Diaz 88. This is very true. It is very true. Let's get back to what Callum was saying. I mean, Callum was saying with key men out injured. I mean, for me, having Cameron Carter-Vickers out and Rio Hatate injured at the same time, you're taking a big chunk out of that midfield and defence that was just so good for us last year. Bringing in players that they don't know how important it is and the need, to win every single game. And a lot of players don't. Yeah, everyone's saying that now. Supposedly Rocky's injured, and if it is, we're up creek without a paddle going into the away game this weekend. The spine of the team is injured, and it is that. I think once we get over the initial injury phase, if we can get people back within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think we'll be okay for the Champions League. But it all comes down to just losing that one game, and the fact that a cup game came so early in the season is probably a hard one for us to take. But it just shows you how successful the club have been over the last near enough 10 years. 10, 11 years. It shows you how successful they have been since we started on the road to the 9 in a row the first time. And the expectation levels of fans has kind of went berserk, absolutely berserk. New player incoming before the week is out. Stephen, yes, I think there'll be more than one. I think there'll probably be 2 signings this week. And then as we go, because how many days have we got? We've got 9 days left of the transfer window. Yeah, there'll be 1 this week and maybe 2 next week. Don't know. Maybe even get 4 players in before the end of the transfer window. What do you think about that? Tell me what you think in the comments. What positions? What positions? You could go out and buy something new for every single position as it stands after that game yesterday. We've got enough wingers, but we didn't get the wingers were brought in far too narrow yesterday. When we brought Yang on yesterday, you watch him stick to the touchline a bit, and that's what we need. We need to start using our width again. We need to start. What happened yesterday was we didn't play our system. We let Kilmarnock play hers. Listen to the Beatle interviews. A goalkeeper. I don't think we're going to get a goalkeeper. We're only going to move for a goalkeeper if Benji moves out, and I think that's the only one that's going to go. It's never going to be. I believe we need a left back. Goalkeeper, left back, centre mid, and left winger, and a striker. We definitely need a striker, but Rodgers going down the route of saying that we've got enough strikers in the building. Said if we go and bring another striker in, it doesn't look like he doesn't really want to go for a striker because he's not going to be able to play him with the system we're playing. That's playing one up front for me. It's just nonsense. We need to get back to a 3-5-2, or a 4-4-2. So we need to get playing. Celtic have played 2 up front for years. It was kind of Brendan and Ronnie Dyler that changed that a bit and going to this 1 up front. And to me, it's just a nonsense. It ruins the way that Celtic. How many more goals could we have scored last season if we had 2 strikers up front, giving someone to knock the ball down to Kyogo? I've said it before, but some of the best times the Celtic supporter was Thompson for the wing, Sutton, Larson, goal. It's easy as that. It's easy as that. He said we need quality, not quantity. Yeah, we do need quality. We need about 4 quality players in the team. We've had the quantity already. We've bulked the squad up. We've got rid of Ralston wouldn't get in my darts team. We've bulked the squad up over the summer. We've brought in players. Yep, Yang should have been on earlier. I would have started with Yang, and I would have put Dyson in midfield like what he did. I would have done that way before. I love the 3-5-2 formation. Yep, so did I, Mark, and it's a system that Celtic should always be playing, and especially at home. Because when we're playing against 1 man up front, why are we playing with 4 at the back? Fair enough. You're basically playing with 2 when the wing backs move into position. But really, why are we playing with 4 at the back in Scotland? There's absolutely no need for it. We would bully teams. If we played 3-5-2, we would absolutely bully teams. And and that's with the players that we've got just now, changing to a 3-5-2 formation, we would bully teams easily in this league. But we're not playing to our advantage, if you ask me. Rodgers is playing a system where we're bringing Kyogo back to try and help the midfield, and that's wrong. We should be, Jota will replace Jota. That's a good one. According to the odds, we'll go over the odds again since there's people that just came on, might not have been on earlier. Celtic are 6-4 favourites to bring back Jota. Everton are 2-1. Tottenham are 2-1. Crystal Palace are 4-1. Wolves are 9-2. Manchester United are 25-1. Fulham are 8-1. Any Portuguese club are 10-1. Leeds are 14-1. Any American club are 20-1. See that Beckham's club finally won a competition. And then Sevco are 33-1. There's not a chance that he's going to go to Sevco. Not a chance. The fullbacks are shocking just now. Greg Taylor has went from having an amazing couple of seasons to absolutely... Sorry, mate. Coppers are at the door. The Coppers are at the door. I don't know what you're talking about. Rodgers was an upgrade from Ange. I'm beginning to think not, says Stephen. Yep, Ange was famous. 60-minute burnout. Very little burnout with Aberdeen, with Brendan. Kyogo must get frustrated. He's up and down all day while his team stand around. We couldn't afford Jota now. I don't think that the Saudis will be too fussy about a team paying the majority of his goal. I don't think 5-3-2 is seen as a more defensive by most managers. Yes, it is, and it kills games. You know, and it's a fair enough. Kilmarnock won yesterday playing that 5-3-2, right? So then they can move two of the wing backs back up into midfield. So then they're basically playing a 3-5-2. But I think they were playing 3-5-1 yesterday, 5-3-1, 5-4-1. Anyway, who cares? Taylor cannot play Rodgers' style. There's a lot of players yesterday on that performance cannot play Rodgers' style. The goalie is the last of our worries. But look, we're going into the season, whether we like it or not, with Joe Hart as our number one. Tweaking the team of fraudsters, dismantling the system. Rodgers like last time. Yep. Real Rodgers used the same excuse at Leicester last season. We have lost our mojo. We have lost our mojo. We used to play a 2-3-5. Taylor looked like a fish out of water. He did that. Taylor did look like he was. I think the whole team. I don't know. There's something going on. There's something going on that the team are finding difficult to change. Because let's face it, they've had a whole pre-season to adapt. So the players that are there should have been able to adapt in a space of when did they start? They started back in beginning of middle of July. So we're at the end of August now. You would think the experienced players would have a time to adapt, but Brian says he never believed that Brendan was an upgrade on Ange. Nobody thought Ange was an upgrade on Brendan when Ange came in the door. Everyone, everyone's got short memories because there was a lot of people going Ange who. A lot of Celtic fans were going Ange who. There was a lot of people saying let this guy do his work. After the first, there was people saying that Ange wouldn't last to Christmas. At this point of his Celtic career. Next game's on grass, we will be phenomenal. Yes, I do believe that. We'll get back to playing on grass. And Rodgers complained about the pitch. Why it was slow, boring, build-up football all over it instead of just punting. There was times that we did punt the ball up the pitch. We just weren't good enough. The team weren't good enough to try and get. It was the second ball. Second ball yesterday. We were too slow, far too slow to the second ball altogether. What is Jerry Coyle saying? Yeah, the next game is on grass. Yep, next game is on grass. We will be better. Right. What is Brendan Rodgers' style? Well, the last time he was at Celtic, it was to win everything. This time at Celtic, it seems to be that he's struggling a little bit. Is it the fact that he's not getting the players that he wants? Or is it the fact that he's listening to the watch? We will thump St Johnstone on Saturday. I think we will. What is important this weekend is that the entire stadium get behind this team on Saturday. The last thing that we need on Saturday is for half the stadium to be sitting mumbling away and booing or whatever. No, we don't do booing because that's what the other team across the road do. And we need to get the whole stadium behind this team. We need these new players to understand what it's like to play for Celtic. We need these players to come out, chin up, and go, listen to that. Listen to that. Those are our fans. Do you know what I mean? And then that gives them that, right, okay, we need to do this for them. We need to do this for them. And then that's when you're Callum McGregor and and players start going, right, this is it. This is it. This is our own ground. This is what we do. This is how Celtic play. This is how Celtic play. Never mind anything else. Tam, we took 9 goals off them last season. But the Kelly team has improved. It has that. Martin says we'll put on a show on Saturday. I think so. Also, the job that Brendan is facing is far bigger than anyone expected, except Ange. So on that note, I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger. Did Ange Postecoglou leave the building because he knew that Celtic would not have the ambition that he wanted the club to have? Is it the fact that ambition walked out the door, Peter Lawwell walked in the door? It's one of the best comments that I've ever heard. Anyway, on that note, it's early days. It is early days. We've got a lot to still play for this season. We've got another 10 days to go in the transfer window. I expect a lot of movement. One year in, we lost our leader, the spine of our team, and big characters in the dressing room. I think we lost a lot of that in the 9 in a row, but we replaced a lot of it. Ange's teams blow out after the second season. Yes, I think since March this year, we haven't been at our best. That's to say. Come on, PSV. That's it. Bernabei was pushed to be. He should have been a player for us, but his off-field shenanigans. Yes, right. Let's keep the head up. Mine's is a double also, right? We've got a double still to play for. There's a lot to play for this season. We've got Champions League to look forward to. We've got the Champions League draw to look forward to. We also aren't sitting sixth in the league. You know, Ginger not season ahead. I hope not. Shave his head. Anyway, since Peter Lawwell's come back, things have taken a turn back the way. Surely it'll be interesting come the AGM to find out exactly what Peter Lawwell's position is and how much influence he's got over his son, Mark. Because I'm sure to hell, I'm hoping that he doesn't have any influence. It is only the start. It is only the start of the season. We really need to calm down just a little bit. Just a little bit longer. Anyway, put your money on PSV to win 6-0. I didn't even know when they're playing, Jerry, but we'll put that on anyway. Look on the bright side, lads and lasses. They're getting weaker by the week. 6 is not a good position. And as we stand today, and as we look out the window and check the league stats beaming down from the sky, and it says Celtic are top of the league. And that's all we need to matter about just now. And that's all we need to worry about. And it's maintaining that stance of us being top of the league, looking down on the Rangers. So on that note, have a great evening, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the